He's giving a lesson on how to be a man, how to win in life.
Red light pulled next to me. And a fucking Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock, music blasting. Drop top Aston Martin with a Swedish number plate. Some fucking dude about 30 with a hot blonde next to him. And I remember looking at him thinking, who the fuck's this guy? Like, here I am with my broken car on my way to fucking do a shit job. I can't afford to fix my car. This guy is from fucking Sweden, and he's just driven to England, and he's got a Swedish plate, and he's got this hot bitch, and he's got music pumping, and he's on his way to have lunch. Like, where the fuck did my life go wrong? I want to be like that guy. And I think this every single time I live in Romania now. Now I drive around Romania in my fucking Lamborghini or my Aston Martin or my Ferrari or my Bentley, whichever one I decide to drive. And they all have English number plates, and I always have a girl with me. And people look at me, and people are giving me the exact same look I gave that guy.
You know, the thing is with Tate, he's a very good storyteller. Like you see, even though he's even naming his cars, or my Aston Martin, or my this, like he knows how to keep people engaged. Have you guys realized that people also who make it in life are good? They know how to market. They know how to capture attention. He's a fascinating guy.
Looking like, who the fuck's this guy from England who just drove here from England? I'm standing at the bus stop about to go to work, and this guy's got a $250,000 car and a hot bitch on his way to have lunch with music blaring. And the reason I managed to go full circle is those small events in my life, seeing someone else with more success than me, ingrained in my brain. And to a lot of people, it doesn't ingrain in their brain. I was walking to school. If I was walking to college with my friends, I used to have to walk. I went to a college on the other side of town, so I had to walk 4.6, I think it was, fucking miles to college. It was a fucking nightmare. So I used to walk. Halfway, I meet some other people. Towards the end, there'd be a group of 5 or 6 of us along the way. And one day a Ferrari burnt past us, and everyone else was like, "Oh yeah, Ferrari." I'm like, and I remember saying to the group, I was only 18. I said, "Doesn't it annoy you that this guy has a fucking 300,000 pound car and we'll probably never have one?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's only a car." I'm like, "No, you don't understand. There is a life hack. There is something happening where people are living lives that other people don't get to live. There's something happening. There's something going on. I want to have a 300,000 pound car. I want it." And
But listen to what he's saying. It's the small things. Like I remember I was walking the other day on the street, and this Rolls Royce, it was like a truck, blacked out, like the one that Dolph had, blacked out, nice, in Sydney CBD. And I looked at it and I just thought to myself, some people stare, oh, it's a Rolls Royce. And I looked at it with just that elegance and I said, how much money do I need to make to drive that car? To just go and buy that car. I saw a white guy driving in there, skirting off. And I'm like, how much money do I need to have? Listen to what he's saying. There's a life hack. There's a life hack. There's a reason why people are poor. There's a reason why people stay in the same thing and keep doing the same thing. And there's a reason why, like think about this. Think about this. Think about this for you right now. What about if you were to get 3 people to pay you $3,000 a month? 3 people. What's the math on that? That's like $9,000. And I'm talking about AUD. So imagine USD is even more. You get 3 people to pay you $9,000. If you live in $9,000, I was actually doing the maths on this. That's $108,000 a year. Imagine getting 3 people. So you got to create some value to be able to serve to people because you get money through value. But it's not about just working hard, working hard. Yes, you see me here late night streaming, but that's because this is fun to me. This doesn't feel like work, you know? It's a mindset.
no one else wanted it. These little events didn't ingrain in their brain. Ferrari driving past me bothered me, and it bothered me to my core to the point where I decided I would do anything it takes to have one. Whereas other people just saw it and carried on with their normal lives. This is the reason I have 6 or 7 supercars and other people don't. Because these small events ingrained in my brain. So this is the second thing. G mindset. First thing, you have to believe you're the fucking man, you can achieve anything. And when I say that, I'm gonna say that again. You have to believe you're the fucking man, and you have to believe you can achieve anything. I'm not saying you can achieve anything easily. I'm not saying it's not gonna take a whole bunch of work. I'm not saying it's gonna happen quickly. But you have to believe you can achieve anything. I'll tell you something now.
Anything. You have to believe that you're him. Say it. I'm him. I'm him. You can do it. Believe it. You gotta believe. The world is gonna tell you otherwise. The world's gonna call you arrogant. They're gonna call you that. They're gonna call you names because they're not you. They're not you. Stop listening to everyone else. Stop listening to your parents, to your aunties, to your uncles. No, this is your time now. This is the greatest time to be alive now. You could become rich, live anywhere in the world. You can work remote anywhere in the world right now. This is the best time to live. You don't have to be with the crowd. You can live the life you want. But you have to believe that you're through, even through the darkest times, even through the dark days that they're coming and they're haunting you and they keep coming and you keep going, you keep fighting, but they keep coming through those days. Can you keep doing it? Can you keep doing it? Can you stay consistent? Those are the people who win.
I don't give a fuck if it's being an astronaut. I don't care about climbing Mount Everest. You give me enough time to train, I will get it done. I know that for a fact because I know who I am as a man.
I will get it done. I don't care how that shit done. I don't care how that shit gets done. Just get that shit done. Just get it done. I will get it done. I know myself. Whatever I do, even if it takes a little bit of time, I'll get it done. Anything, I get it done. I get something, I get it done straight away because there's no time to play. Because you just got to be him.
First thing. The second thing is you need to be perspicacious. You need to understand that in this world, there's a whole bunch of people doing amazing shit that you are not doing. And that needs to piss you off.
It needs to piss you off. And a lot of you don't even know what that word means. So I actually had to go in because I was live, but the audio wasn't hearing. So I went to go and Google what the word means, perspicacious, because a lot of you guys will keep watching and you still don't know what it means. It means to have a keen understanding and sharp mental perception and being very insightful when it comes to noticing things that aren't obvious. So when you see a Rolls Royce driving down the street, you don't just look at it and walk by. You think, how can I freaking get one? How can I get a Rolls Royce too? Right? How can I, how can I drive a Rolls Royce? That would be nice too. What, like spend a nice million on a car? Like it's GTA? That'd be nice, wouldn't it, huh? That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Yeah, I know that'd be nice. So why don't we do the same freaking thing? You can do the same thing, but you gotta be perspicacious. Let's go.
Because it pisses you off. You become motivated all of a sudden. I was the only one who was pissed off when that Aston Martin was next to me and I had my sales job. I was the only one who was pissed off when I saw that Ferrari drive past. Other people were not annoyed by it. And they're not annoyed by it. They're not driven to be it. You understand? They're not driven to be where that person was. You need to be annoyed. And I'm telling you to be angry. Anger is a fantastic force. Like I said, the world tells you not to be arrogant, it tells you not to be angry. It's two things it tells you to do. Don't be arrogant, don't have an ego, and you don't have anger. You're a fucking man. You're a full-grown man.
And you know what I like about him as well? He knows his audience, and that's why he has a very successful business. He knows if you're watching this course, most of his majority fans are men. Yes, he has some female here who come and listen to him and they can tell their husbands and stuff like that. But he knows his audience are men and he speaks directly to his consumer. He can tell you their age, he can tell you what they do, he can even tell you probably their income they're earning, because when you know your customer, you can speak to exactly them. And there's so many people that can still relate to whoever that is. We can all relate to what he's saying as men.
It's perfectly fine for you to be pissed off. It's perfectly fine for you to look around at your life, look at the girl you're fucking, look at the house you live in, look at the car you drive, and get pissed off and go, you know what, I want a hotter bitch. I want a fucking nicer house. I want a faster car. There's nothing wrong if you take that anger and you direct it in the correct direction.
Hey, 1 second, guys. So, like, I was getting a title for this video, and I think it's a really good title. What I did was, I did this. I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, like, I did a voice message. I was like, I'm doing a live stream to Andrew Tate, Give me a title that's going to find well in SEO, right? That's going to be in SEO, that's going to find an audience, right? Because we want to find people. This is the hack we're learning. This is, how to capture people's attention. So it said a good title would be How to Become a G, full course breakdown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on YouTube Live as well, and I want to give it the same title because obviously Andrew Tate's name gets in the SEO quite a lot. Okay, cool. I'm seeing myself on stream. What's up, bro? Oh, shit. Okay.
Stop fighting us because I fought and I went through hell to get everything I now have. I had nothing when I fought. I had nothing. And I wanted the life I now have. Now I wake up in one of my 3 mansions with one of my 7 supercars and one of my 15 women. What do I need to fight for? People have different motivations for different things. There's some fighters out there who fight for other reasons, But my motivation was I was pissed off at the world. And now I'm not as angry as I used to be, so I don't believe I'm as good a fighter as I used to be. I'll still whoop some ass, but I'm not as good as I used to be. So that's why I've decided to retire early.
But it's crazy how it's like Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor the same thing, and it's surprising because Andrew Tate, I didn't know he became rich through kickboxing, but Conor McGregor the same thing. He fought, he did his thing. He was a great marketer too, a fantastic marketer. Knew how to capture your attention. Did his thing in the UFC. Then he just got so rich. He's like, bro, he's just like, bro, training. Pass me that blunt. Like he just got to a point. He just made business moves. Went in there, bought it. He's smart. Boom, and he's probably got a good team. He's got a good advisor. To be successful, you need a good team around you. There's no one being successful by themselves. He's got a good team. He's got his wife there. People are in his ears. Hey, look, let's invest in this company. Let's take this money that you're earning, put it in this company that's going to give you wealth for the rest of the life. Boom, liquor company, because he's marketing, because his brand got equity in the company, and he knows how to market things, love the taste. Boom, invest. Take the business to a whole new level because he's a marketer. People know him. People are going to buy the alcohol, UFC. Boom. Bro, he's chilling, bro. He is chilling. You know what I mean? So then he's just like, bro, what am I gonna go fight? What am I gonna get beat up for, bro? Like, what the hell? Let me just go home, bro. I got money now. But like, still, now look at him. He's still like, okay, let me go into politics now. Like, boom, did in UFC, bought a business, bought into a business, got equity in the business. Boom, boom. UFC, let me start a gym, let me start a media company, let me, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me just still pursue what I love, but I don't have to be in this one thing. And then he's retired early.
But this is the second thing. So first thing, believe you're the man. Second thing, you need to get angry about your situation. If you've bought this course and you're watching it and you're sitting there, right now you're watching it and you look around you and you don't own the home you're in, get pissed off. If there ain't a Ferrari on your drive, get pissed off. If you don't have 10 Playboy Bunny level beauties, get pissed off. And well, what the fuck? You need to sit there and realize, whoa. I have a few years of consciousness, and even less than that, I have a few short years as a young man, because age will damage you. I mean, if you're a millionaire in your 60s, it's not nearly as good as being a millionaire at my age. I became a millionaire at 28. So you need to realize you've got a few short years as a young man, you're fucking wasting it. You need to sit there and go, fuck, shit, get angry. Because getting angry, forced, directed anger is an extremely powerful force. So these are the first two things you need to do for a G mindset. This is the third thing, and this is a very, very important thing, because I try and explain this to people and they don't seem to understand it. So I'm going to make this very, very blunt. Nobody, absolutely nobody, gives a fuck about you as much as you're going to have to give a fuck about yourself. Nobody cares about you as much as they need to care to fix your life. Even your parents, even your friends, even all the people who think they care about you, they care about you. Yeah, sure, there may be 2 or 3 people on the planet who genuinely care about you, but nobody is going to come to your bed, drag you out of bed, fucking drag you to a job, force you to work hard, go and get you a hot bitch and go and buy you a Ferrari. Nobody is going to do that for you. You are never going to have any of the things you want if you do not get them yourself. Nobody cares about you enough to do it for you.
Speak.
This is absolutely true. Personally, I'm an atheist. And when I say I'm an atheist, people seem to be a bit confused by this. I don't know why that surprises people, but I'm absolutely and utterly an atheist. And the reason I'm an atheist is because I believe that there is no grand plan. There's no God in the sky looking out for me. I don't believe that there's anyone here to save me on this planet or in the sky or anywhere else. I am me. I was born. I have, maybe if I'm lucky, 70, because I'm quite big. When you're physically large, you die sooner. 70 years of consciousness. And these years I experienced, the only person who's going to make them fun and exciting and interesting, the only person who's going to make me happy and live a life that I want to live is me.
It's me.
Nobody's going to do it for me.
No one. People keep waiting for someone, help me. And it's just, you just look at the world, you're just perspicacious. You see, so, in church, there's such a poor mindset going on. There's such a poor mindset. We're always waiting for something or someone to save us. Oh, I'm waiting to go to heaven. But a white man doesn't believe heaven's up there. He knows that heaven is on earth. The heaven is here. Heaven's here. But he'll tell you, oh no, heaven's up there. Heaven's up there. Just suffer here, be poor here. But you're going to go up there. No, we can experience heaven on earth. We have every right to experience heaven on earth. There's heaven here and there's hell here. We can experience hell too. Wouldn't you rather live in heaven on earth instead of waiting to die to experience heaven? You can experience heaven on earth. Heaven is here. There's nothing coming to save you.
No, God has a plan for me. There's no one else who wakes up each day and goes, you know what? I want to make Andrew Tate's life better. I want to get him more pussy and more money. No one thinks that about me. No one thinks that about you either. Nobody thinks that about you. The only person who gives a shit about your life truly is you. And if you don't give a shit, then you're fucked. But point two, get angry. You're going to start giving a shit very soon.
They're asking if I do tarot card readings. Not really, bro. I don't play those games. Hey, Twitch. Hey, follow my Twitch as well, bro. Follow my Twitch. This guy's asking me if I do tarot card readings. No.
After you get angry, you need to realize that nobody is going to give you the things you want. It doesn't matter if Donald Trump is president or not.
Exactly.
He's a Trump fan, but it doesn't make a difference.
He's a Trump fan too. This course, guys, this was about like 6-7 years ago. 6-7 years ago, it was ages ago this course was done.
No politician is going to make you rich. No one else is going to come along and say, I'm going to concentrate my effort on fixing your life. Nobody. You have to understand you are out here alone, absolutely alone. And when you understand these three things, you start to see how a mindset comes together. Nobody's going to save you. You're fucked. It's totally down to you. You're pissed off with your current situation and you want to change it. Plus, you believe you can do absolutely anything. This is how I thought at 18 years old. This is how I achieved so much in the short years. This is how I went from a nobody to a world-level athlete and a multimillionaire. Also, people confuse the two. Kickboxing is not boxing. I made it across my entire career in kickboxing, maybe about 700,000. I now have about 8 or 9 million. This was not made in kickboxing. This was made in other ventures. I have managed to be a world-level athlete and an extremely successful businessman at exactly the same time.
Oh, he was running a business at the same time.
9 million. This was not made in kickboxing. This was about 700,000. Kickboxing is not boxing. I made it across my entire career in kickboxing, maybe about 700,000. I now have about 8 or 9 million. This was not made in kickboxing. This was made in other ventures.
He made 700,000. So Andrew Tate made 700,000 doing kickboxing and then made another 8 million or so running a business as well. I thought he got there, but 700,000 is still pretty good.
So I have managed to be a world-level athlete and an extremely successful businessman at exactly the same time. Because at a very young age, when I had my prime resource of energy and power at 18, 19 years old, I understood those three tenets. I believe I can do anything. I'm pissed off I don't have the life I want. And nobody else is going to give it to me. These are three things you need to understand. If any one of these elements is missing, you'll never have the right mindset. The G mindset will never formulate if any one of these elements is missing. All three are absolutely essential. And the sooner you get your act together, the sooner you start to panic and worry and be concerned that you're 24, 25, you're not fucking rich yet. There's 24 and 25-year-olds out there who got a contract for fucking NBA or their parents or they won the lottery, who knows what. There's 24 and 25-year-olds out there who are multimillionaires fucking the hot models. These Instagram girls with 3 million followers, they're getting dicked by someone and it ain't you. And that needs to...
He's also being very descriptive, so he's good at capturing your attention, but he's making the point of that's your storytelling format to capture your mind, to keep you captivated, to keep you paying attention, because your attention span may differ. And a lot of people think about women, but you see, he says you're 24, 25. He knows who his audience is, but this goes for anyone in life. It's never too late. You're never too old. Don't worry what other people are doing. It's not about what other people are doing. People are going to live their lives. You should be thankful for your life. You should be grateful. So you're at this age, they're at that age, that's just their time there. Your time just hasn't come just yet, but it's got to catch up to your reality. Right, they got to catch up to your reality, bro. Everyone else is got to catch up to you. You got to be ahead of the curve. You guys got to be ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? No matter what those bank accounts says, no matter how much debt I'm facing in my life, no matter how much stress I have, no matter all the bills that are due, that are weighing on me, that I'm getting, reminders. I have a lot of shit on my mind. I've got a business stress, family stuff, people going through divorces. No matter what you're going through that for a reason. But as long as you know that you are at the highest level, that you are successful, that you don't let your circumstances define who you are, this is all a game. This is all an energy. It's all a feeling. It's something I have to keep reminding myself to do, is to, when things get down, when things don't go as they should be, I get happy. I remind myself, no, mindset, get happy. Because I'm living the life I've always dreamed of, even now, no matter what, even if I'm still chasing after what I want, I'm still living in who I am.
Piss you off. You need to get concerned. You get worried. You shit, I'm running out of time. You need to get some urgency in your life. Put these three things together is absolutely essential. This is the beginning of the G mindset. When you have these three things totally done, I'll tell you what happens. I'll tell you what happened for me. So I became a sayer. So my brother used to say, you've become a sayer. And what that means is I made a pact to him that my word was unbreakable, strength and honor. And that if I said something, I meant it. So I'd wake up in the morning and I'd say to my brother, I'm doing 1,000 press-ups today. Once I said it, once I spoke it, it's like a genie, it became true. If I said I was going to do 1,000 press-ups, I'd do them. Because if I didn't do them, I'd feel guilty within myself that I was the kind of person who talks shit. Because G's don't talk shit. So the three tenets we've already learned, when you've instilled these in your mind, you don't want to be the kind of person who talks shit. So if I woke up to my brother and said, I'm doing 1,000 press-ups, or I'm running 20 miles today, I would do it. Because if I didn't do it, I'd feel like a dickhead. Because when you...
Yo, how many people will live like that? How many people live like with that mindset that if I say something's going to get done, I'm going to get it done? Imagine that. He made a promise to himself that whatever I say, I'm going to do. And I know some of us struggle with that. I make, certain things I'm good at, other things I may struggle with that I say I do and I don't do. But if you have the mindset that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I also have that feeling. If I have business, if I have clients, my clients right now, if I say I'm doing a service for you and you pay me, I have to do it. I have to get the job done. I have to serve you the way you want to be served. Pause. I got to serve my clients. It doesn't matter anything. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And if something happens, I'll let you know. Hey, I'm sorry, it couldn't happen. But I'll make an effort, or I'll make an effort to communicate, But your word is your bond. And that's what I'm learning in business. That if you just keep your word, you'll win. You'll get rich. You'll get the life that you deserve. You just got to keep your word. Because very few people do it. You can't trust people, bro. I barely take anyone's word anymore.
You instill these mindsets. When your mindset changes, you start to be extremely accountable for yourself. No one's coming to save you. You become extremely accountable. So when you realize that your word is one of the few things you have on this planet, if you say things, you're going to start sticking to them. So then it becomes very easy to train. You say, I'm going to train every day this week. I'm going to train for 2 hours a day. As soon as you said it, it's basically done. If I say something, it's basically done. It's set in stone. If I say something, I'm going to do it. There's no way I'm going to say some words and speak them into existence on this planet. And then I'm going to be the kind of pussy who quits because it's too hard. If I say I'm going to do 10,000 push-ups, I'm going to do it. Because I'm the kind of person who sticks to the words he says. And this is another thing you understand.
10,000 is a lot.
Be very, very specific with what you say. Because if you can instill your mindset correctly and you start to just say things, just start saying things. Then you hold yourself accountable. Say things you don't even think you want to do. Wake up and go up to your friend or your mom or whoever and say, you know what? I'm going to do 1,000 push-ups today. Say it to people. And they're going to say, no, you're not. So watch me. And then you have a choice. You're either going to succeed like a G or you're going to be a little pussy. And you're going to quit at 310 because it's hard. What kind of man are you? That's a decision you need to make. But if you're the kind of man I was, I'd say shit and I'd fucking stick to it. My brother said, you become a sayer. I used to train with my brother. He'd say, let's do 500. I'd say, let's do 2,000. He'd say, well, you said it now, so we have to do it. I was like, exactly. I said it now, so now we have to do it. There is no surrender. We have to do it.
We have to.
This is another facet of the G mindset. This is number 4. You got to start saying shit, and your word has to be iron, unbreakable. This translates across everything in life. It's not just training. It translates across everything in life, even relationships. I say to my girlfriend, stop fucking with me or you're out the house. Men say that all the time in arguments, and then they continue to argue for 2 hours. They'll say that, and then they'll argue. If I say that, and she continues to talk shit, I start throwing her shit out the fucking door, because I said it. And if I say something, I mean it. If I look a man in his eyes and say, I'm gonna whoop your ass, shut up, and he continues to talk, I have to kick his ass. I'm careful with what I say. If I tell him to shut up and he doesn't shut up, that's a different thing. If I say shut up or I'm gonna whoop your ass and he continues to talk, I will fuck him up. Because I'm the kind of person, if I say something, I mean what I say. I'm specific with my language, and I mean every word I speak. This is another tip. This is number 4. You have to start meaning every word you speak. You say to someone, I'm going to get rich. You better fucking do it. Otherwise, you're a liar. You're a liar and you're a little bitch. If you say I'm
And
not
it's just the fact that, like, even when you speak well of yourself, like, even me, I'm very confident in who I am. You guys see it. It's something that I've had to learn, and I do well. I'm very confident in who I am. But as much as I talk good game, I gotta live it. I gotta be here. I gotta, if we gotta edit something, I gotta be in the trenches. I gotta be down here. I gotta be streaming here till late night while people are sleeping, while people are calling this and this. I'm here streaming. I'm here working. I'm here looking at new social media trends. Okay, we're on this Twitch now. All right, bet. Let's use it. Let's go on it. Let's go all in. Let's grow it. Let's be consistent. Let's do something again and again and show up and show up and show up. Don't stop.
put some muscle on, you better fucking do it. You say I'm gonna lift this weight, you better fucking do it. You say I'm gonna go get this girl, you better go get her. You gotta be the kind of person who says things and means them. You promise a guy you're gonna whoop his ass, you better whoop his ass. Don't be a person. 99% of the people out here talk shit. They say things they half mean or things they don't mean. If I say something, I fucking mean it. And this is number 4. This is the 4th element. You've heard the first 3. This is number 4. Everything you say, you must mean. And once you implement that correctly, then you get the ability to motivate yourself to no end. You get.
Let me write that down. Everything you say, you must mean. It's true, because I think to myself, like, sometimes I say things I half mean. Yeah, I'll call you back. No, you're not. You're not gonna call him back. Why are you lying? Why you don't mean that? No, say what you mean. All right, bro. Love you. Bye. Boom. Don't say you're gonna call him back when you know you're not gonna call him back, or you call him back later, or you'll forget. It's not in a bad way, but everything you say, you must mean. I'm gonna start Twitch and do it. Cool. I gotta be consistent. I gotta stream consistently. I gotta show up for my audience. I've got a business. I gotta run my business. I gotta be there. I tell my mom I'm gonna do something. Cool. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna do it. I'll say what I mean. Everything you say, you must mean. Everything you say, you must mean. Everything you say, you must mean. All right, bet.
Unlimited motivation, because all you have to do is find the energy to say it. You find the energy to say it, then you have to do it. It's literally that easy. I'd wake up in the morning and say, Tristan, we're running 20 miles today. You'd say, oh, for fuck's sake. That's nearly a marathon. I'm like, yep, let's go. Doesn't matter if it takes all fucking day. I said it. If I say something, it has to happen. This is the 4th tenet, and one of the most important ones, because that is the power to unlimited motivation. And that's the power to be taken seriously across all spheres of your life. Be specific with your language. I was in a restaurant the other day, some guy was arguing with his girlfriend. They were talking shit. He's like, you better be quiet. Better be quiet. He kept saying you better be, but there was no threat at the end of it. I didn't really like that. Like, if you're gonna make a threat, make a fucking threat, idiot. But my point is, he's trying to make a threat, but he has no threat at the end because it's empty and the bitch is ignoring him. All these things translate across your entire sphere. Or if you say to a girl or a guy, you better be quiet or else, and then you don't follow through, they're gonna remember that shit. Even on a subconscious level, they're gonna remember that shit. Your word's gonna be devalued. My word has value. Literally, I can go into, let's say, the Ferrari dealership I get my cars from. I can say, I'll pay you tomorrow. Shake his hand. He'll give me the car. He knows me. I can go and get my car fixed and say, I'll be back on Monday. I got something to sort out. He'll shake my hand. I don't lie. If I say I'll be back on Monday and I don't have money on Monday, I'll rob a bank to make sure I have money on Monday.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And that's why sometimes it's so important. Sometimes even if you feel you chasing demons, you chasing some dark days, if you feel that shit's kind of stressful, you can say, hey, I don't know when, but I'm getting it for you. I'm getting it done for you. And you always got to get it done. You always got to get to do it. There's no excuses. The same thing. I can't sleep until, if I said I'm going to do something, I'm going to pay someone back, I'm going to do something, I do it. There's no negotiation.
Fucking said I'd be there to pay. It's the kind of person you need to be. So these are the first 4 elements to the G mindset. And when these sound like simple things, but to implement them correctly, truly and correctly in your mind will change your entire view of the world.
And hold on, sorry to interrupt, guys, but think about that. I said earlier in this stream, I said you get three people, think three, number three. If you get three people to give you $3,000, that's $9,000 a month. That's USD. USD, that's pretty good. In Australia, that's probably about $10,000, $11,000. In a lot of countries, 9,000 US dollars is massive. If you get three people to give you $3,000, you make $9,000 a month. What would you do with $9,000 a month? You'd live good. You'd have, hopefully you keep your means, budget, whatever between your low. You wouldn't spend too much, but bro, 9,000, that's about 108K a year. That's pretty good salary, bro. 100,000 a year is pretty good salary. Most people don't receive that money, right? So getting three people to pay you $3,000. Three people. But to get three people to give you $3,000, you need to do everything you say. Because for someone to trust you every month to give you $3,000, and in all of those clients you get $100,000 a year, you got to be someone who adds so much value that you mean what you say and you say what you mean and you get shit done. And there's no excuses. You deliver, and you get better. That's how someone will pay you $3,000 a month. And you can have 10 people who pay you $3,000 a month. Do the maths. 5 people, 15 people, 20 people, 40 people pay you $3,000 a month. But it's, do you say everything you mean? Are you reliable? Will you get it done? Will you get it done through adversity? And see why it takes time to build wealth. It takes time. It's not easy. It's not just this quick fix. No, it takes time to be the man you're supposed to be, because you have to become that person. You have to learn those things. You have to go through those mountains to learn, this is who I got to be. This is how I got to manage money. This is how I got to think. This is the mindset I should have. I should, everything, of course, sometimes I say things, I don't mean them. Okay, let me work on that. Let me work on that. Let me get better at that. Let me get better at saying things I mean. Let me not say things to please people. No, I'm not going to your party. No, I'm not going to your boring party. I'm not coming. I'm working. Be honest. Say what you mean. Oh, do you think you're going to come? No, I'm not coming. I'm working. Say what you mean. Hey, babe, I'm not coming. I got work. Hey, babe, I'm not coming. I got work. I'll catch you later. Oh, I'm mad. All right, cool. I'm working. What can I say? Hey, I gotta be what I gotta do. This is my purpose at the end of the day. That I've told you, that comes before anything. I'll come when I'm done. I'll come and talk to you. And when I'm done, I say what I mean. I go and talk to my shorty. I mean what I say. When I tell her, babe, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing this. I'm gonna get us this. This is the vision. This is where we're going as a couple. I gotta mean what I say. She's gotta see it in my actions. Women are very smart. Women are very smart. They see what you do. A lot of men, they talk the talk, but a woman will watch them. A woman sleeps with you. She watches the way you behave. She watches the way you move. She watches what you do. She's there. She's watching. They can see change. They can see progress. They can see something. Nah, he means what he says. If he says he's doing something, he's doing it. He's wanting, when he's having a business, I see him. The next year I see him, he's still having a business. He's taking more meetings now. He's doing more things. He's waking up so early. He's running, like, people see these things. But it's because I mean what I say. If I say I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. every morning. Sometimes, like today morning, I wake up 5 in the morning. This morning I said, you know what? I'm going to sleep in a little bit. Sunday morning, I may sleep in a little bit. I may wake up at 6. May wake up an hour early. I may do my mailing list after this, write an email, finish streaming late night, go to bed, wake up 6, 7, boom, I'm up and ready to go.
Start to look at everything completely differently. When you implement these 4 things correctly, when you say, if I say something, I'm going to do it, my word is iron-willed. When you say that nobody is ever coming to save me, ever. When you say that I'm pissed off, I don't have the life I want to have. And you couple that with, I believe I can do anything. If you truly believe all of these 4 things, it's going to change your entire view of this planet. I'll wrap up quickly with probably my most famous tweet when I had Cobra Tate. They verified me and everything, and I spoke too much truth, so I had to go. My most famous tweets when I said depression wasn't real. And I had A-list celebrities. I had the girl from Game of Thrones. I had fucking literally A-list.
So this guy's been getting cancelled since then. Yo, guys, is the Matrix real?
Guys, who's that dude from No Country for Old Men? And he was a bad guy in Bond as well. I actually quite liked him as an actor until he came for me. I was having arguments with all these people. And everyone's telling me how dangerous my mindset is. What is dangerous about believing that you control your own mind? Because if you implement the 4 things I've just told you, depression becomes garbage. Depression's not a thing anymore. Feeling depressed is real. You can be depressed with your situation. I just told you, number 2, get depressed. That's fine. But believing you can fix it yourself is the important key. Sitting there believing that depression is some monster from the sky that strikes your brain and now you have no control over it and you must take pills every day is the absolute enemy to a G mindset.
And you're there taking pills every day talking about, I've got depression. And those people there are making money. They say, yeah, oh, you have depression. No, you have depression here. Take this pill. That pill, someone's created it. Someone's created a company. Someone's created a whole business just to give you that pill that you're going to take talking about, I'm depressed. That's why you go to the, I'm depressed. Okay. Oh, you're depressed? Sure. Boom, 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 boom. Script. Is it free? Is it free? Some may get it free. Usually you have to pay for that shit. Someone's making money off you talking about I'm depressed. Instead of you saying, yes, I feel this way. I feel upset. Life has happened. Someone's passed away. Things have happened. My girl's left me. This has happened. Someone's stolen from me. Whatever it is happened. But a day's another day. Let me wake up. Let me get back at it. Let me believe in myself that I can flip this around. I can do it. If it's anyone to do it, it's me to do it. Anyone do it, it's me.
I don't give a fuck how depressing my situation. The only person who can change it is me. The only person who can change how I feel about my situation or try and affect the situation directly is me. Even if you put me in a situation I can't change, if you put me in jail and I'm depressed because I'm in jail, I still refuse to succumb to depression.
He said this way before. He's been manifesting things. I hope he doesn't keep saying that he's gonna get shot. He always keeps saying things like that. He's been manifesting. Guys, do you see this is guys, you can see in this video how long ago this was. This guys, okay, the people on YouTube live, you can see, bro, this was Andrew Tate back in the days, bro. Look how young he looks, bro. That was ages ago. This was ages ago. Ages ago. Oh, looks a bit weird there. This was ages ago. He was manifesting things. Even if I go to jail, I won't be depressed. I'll find a way. Even in jail, I'll find a way. I'll make money. I'll find a way.
I refuse to collapse mentally and give up. I know the only person who can control my mind is me. Nobody's coming to save me. No doctor with a pill is coming to save me. Depression isn't real. Depression is a state of mind designed to motivate you to find a life that doesn't depress you any further. That's all it is. Now you have to decide, are you man enough to go and get it done, or are you going to sit around and cry? And depression, the reason I talk about depression a lot is because depression in the Western world is to cure all. It's to cure all excuse. This is what people are using. My life's shit because I'm depressed. No, you're depressed because your life is shit. It's the other way round, and you're refusing to acknowledge that, and you want to sit there and live a shit life and pretend that some disease has struck you. And the reason you know that's bullshit, anyone out there who's depressed, I'll tell you something, you're not depressed, you're a coward. And the reason you're a coward is as follows. You desperately try to defend this crippling ailment you have. When I tell you depression isn't real, you message me pages and pages desperate to convince me I'm wrong, that depression is a real thing, and that your life is terrible, and this ailment has destroyed your life because you're desperate to defend your excuse. If depression was really terrible, you wouldn't want to defend it. If depression was really so bad, and I'm telling you it's not real, and I know how to fix you, and if you implement a mindset like mine, you become immune to depression. If depression was so terrible, you'd listen to me and think, I need to try what this guy does. I need to do, if he's immune to depression, it's impossible to depress him, I need to be like this man. But instead, no, you don't want to do that. You want to call me names and sit and defend this ailment because you know it's garbage. It's your excuse. It's your blanket. It's your shield. It's your excuse you get to pull out every time you look at your failure of a life. And that's why depression is absolutely and utterly not real. And anyone who's bought this course who thinks they're depressed, I'll tell you something now. Drop that coward bullshit. If you're watching this and you're depressed, drop and give me 200 press-ups. Do 200 press-ups. Look in the mirror, look in your eyes, and tell yourself you're the fucking man, and drop that garbage, because you can get absolutely nowhere in your life if you believe in that crap. Depression absolutely isn't real. And you're going to say this to people, and they're going to fucking go nuts at you. And they're going to call you arrogant, and they're going to call you all the things they called me. But your life is going to be a life worth living. Implement the 4 things I've told you, the 4 important tenets of a G mindset. Understand, nobody's coming to save you. Depression isn't real. You'll change your entire worldview once these 4 things are implemented correctly, and then we can move on to everything else.
Thanks.
Right, we've been over the mindset. The 4 tenets of the mindset are: believe you can do absolutely anything. 2, be pissed off you haven't done it yet. 3, absolutely nobody is coming to save you. And 4, your word has to be iron-willed.
But guys, do you also see why Andrew Tate's made so much money? Do you understand why he drives a Bugatti? Do you understand why he does all these things? Because he provides so much value out to the world that money is just a reflection. Money is just a byproduct. That doesn't matter why. And also his energy portrays that too. So it doesn't matter if he's rich or broke. He feels like he's man. He feels like he has $1 million. His energy portrays that in terms of, like he says, he doesn't get depressed. Why do you think he's not getting depressed? Why do you think he's not getting depressed? Yes, you can get depressed when you have money. Of course you can. But that's why it's a renewal of the mind. When you overcome depression, it doesn't mean you're going to become a millionaire. You could do very well with and live a very good life with quite a good income coming in, and you could not be depressed at all, living your purpose. It's just a renewal of the mind. But his ethic is how the mind can do everything. But if you see why he's got so much money, is because he's served so many people. Think about how inspiring these messages are. Even when he was rich, even when he had a house like this, but the house like this is not as good as the house he has now, right? This was another level he was at, but he kept getting higher and higher and higher. He kept improving. He didn't let the money get to him. He kept inspiring. He kept giving back out to people. He sells a course, but this course, you feel inspired. Don't you think listening to this after this, you can go today, and go out and do what you need to do? Yes, you can. It's inspiring.
Use that for unlimited motivation. This is about body language. I like to look at humans from an evolutionary standpoint. I like to look at us as a species because, like I said, I'm an atheist. I do not believe that God put us here. We're not special. We're no different than any other animal here. Okay, we're more intelligent, but there's always going to be a smartest. We're not the fastest or the strongest or anything else. So we're an animal species, and if you look at humans from that perspective, and you look at males, and I'm assuming, like I said previously, most of you are men. Males, for a very long period of time, had a very physical role. Our role was combatants. Our role was a combative role. Our role was to protect, or to destroy, or to dominate, or to conquer. This was a male's role. So in the modern society where we pretend physicality isn't important and we deny physicality and people say it doesn't matter, it absolutely does matter because since the dawn of human time, my favorite saying that everyone mocks me for, since the dawn of human time, for 95% of our existence, a man's role was primarily a physical role. So physicality is extremely important. And when you're looking at body language, it's quite difficult to have the body language of an alpha. What is an alpha? Let me be diverse quickly. What is an alpha? If you look in a lion's pride, who's the alpha? The alpha is the biggest, strongest lion. This is the alpha. The alpha is the badass. So can you mimic the body language of a biggest, longest, strongest lion? Yeah, of course, but...
Let me check this. Fuck, I hope I haven't deleted it. Fuck. 1 second, guys. I just want to show you something. I want to show you something just on the topic. Guys, he's giving massive games though. You guys gotta listen to this shit. Oh, they're here. Fuck. Look, guys. Look at that body language. Look at that body language. Look at that body language. What did he say?
If you're not the biggest, strongest, the body language of the biggest, longest, strongest lion, yeah, of course. But if you're not the biggest, strongest lion, it's not as easy to pull off, and someone might call your bluff. So this is actually a very easy video. Body language is down to your physicality as a whole. The body language of a G is a combative body language. I'm not saying you walk through life like this, like looking for a fight, not at all. But you have to have a presence about you.
You see how the line's like this?
Whereas you're not an easy target. It's quite funny actually, because
look,
when you're a fight,
Yo, you see what he said? You're not an easy target. Like when you look at that lion there, that lion's looking at you like I am not a lick. I dare you to come for me. Look, his eyes are up, his eyes are there, focused on his target. Like he might be chill, but you know, nah, let me not fuck with him. Let me not go there. His body, he's got a good body. Fuck with me, nigga. Come.
Fighter, you can spot other fighters a mile off. Like, and it's not just big muscly guys. Like, you can put me in a room with and 30 guys who go to the gym or fitness experts can come in and walk through. And if one of them is a high level combatant, if one of them's a professional fighter like me, I can tell by the way he moves. Probably the same way a dancer can sense another dancer. I can sense another fighter. And it's something instinctual. It's something I can't even tell you how I do it. I can just tell by the way someone moves if they can fight or if they can't fight. Doesn't matter, they got the best body in the world. They can be ripped, but it's the way they move. I know I've seen guys who don't have a body like that and I can sense it. And I've seen guys who are built like that and I can just tell they would crumble. It really is an amazing thing. And I think this is something that you become more tuned into, more honed on when you're a fighter yourself, but it's obviously something that humans naturally possess. We naturally possess the ability to spot another male and think,
Yo, look at the background, bro. Look at this. Look what he's got. Oh shit, what happened?
The body language of a dangerous person, or you can become a dangerous person.
Look at that.
This course is not a shortcut course. This is not tips and tricks. This is not bullshit. This is about how to become a G, how to become a genuine male of substance. And to become a genuine male of substance, you need to know how to fight. It's very difficult to be a G if you're going through life and you crumble at physical confrontation.
Yo, think about what he just did here. How long is this? 3 hours. Fuck, that's the thing, but you can get that done in a weekend. Because if you see, he sold this as a course. So what does that mean? Is that once you pay, you get access to this video, and this video will teach you how to become a G. How much he sell it at? $20, $30? How do you get? Well, it depends, you know. I guess with someone like him, you see what he has, maybe social media, and then you want to buy. Maybe it's easier for him to start a business like that. But you can do something like that too. But it's not much like technology, nothing, bro. You just put the camera there, sit down, talk, get it, sit down, talk. They put it in a video out.
At a certain point in your life, you will encounter physical confrontations. If you're going to go and travel the world and drive fast cars and wear expensive things and attempt to fuck beautiful women all over this planet, sooner or later you're going to attract negative intention from either jealous men or an ex-boyfriend or a brother or a fucking robber who wants your car. Who knows? Are you really a G if you mimic every single aspect of a high-quality man, and then when that situation happens, you fold? No, of course you're not. You need to learn how to fight. I don't need to teach you how to fight. I don't need to sit here in this course and say do this, do that. I don't need to teach you any of that, because you can go, and it doesn't matter what city you are on earth, there's an MMA class or there's a boxing class that will teach you how to fight. You need to dedicate substantial periods and portions of your time to learning how to fight. You need to get hit. You need to have your ass kicked. You need to learn how to kick someone's ass. And this is absolutely essential to, one, the mindset, and two, the physicality. Firstly, mindset-wise, fighting is a brilliant thing, because fighting is 100% accountable. Even if you play soccer, for example, even if your team wins, maybe you didn't do very much, or maybe you kicked the ball and the wind helped you. Who knows? But fighting, if you got punched in the face, you didn't move. And if you punched him in the face, you threw your hand. In fighting, we always say there's no such thing as a lucky punch, and it's true. You know, if I dedicate my life to learning how to punch, and then I knock someone out, is it a lucky punch? No. I knocked him out. That's what I've been training to do. No such thing as a lucky punch. So, mindset-wise, it's perfect for your accountability. Secondly, it's a huge challenge. Learning how to fight is extremely difficult. It's more difficult than learning how to dance or learning how to do anything else. And the reason for this is because learning how to fight, all humans have an instinctual way of fighting. We don't have an instinctual way to dance as much, but all humans basically are pre-programmed to fight, but the way we're pre-programmed to fight is completely wrong. We're pre-programmed to lift our head up so we look big and we can see, and to swing with our hands low for maximum power, and these are completely wrong in terms of traditional chin down, hands up fighting. So when you're learning to fight, you're reprogramming your basic instincts, and this is why it's so difficult. This is why it takes more practice than any other sport. I could learn to dance much easier than a dancer could learn to fight at high level. And that's because fighting is extremely chaotic, it's extremely quick, it hurts, and on top of that, you're trying to reprogram a basic instinct. So it's a very difficult thing to do, but if you want to become a G for real, you need to learn how to fight. And once you learn how to fight...
Bro, he's got a point. Look at what happened with AB. Did you guys see what happened with AB? Look at this. AB jumped. Fucking hell. Fucking Twitter has it. Look what happened.
Oh shit! Wait! What the fuck? That's security, AB! Shit! Oh, what the fuck, twin?
But you see how AB was ready for war. You see how he apparently he even threw shots, but he lives in Florida. The police let him go. People tried to rob him. You see, he's minding his own business. He's rich. He's got hella jewelry on, and someone's tried to rob him. It's not. People are hungry, bro. So you got to be able to have that physical combat. Look. Boom, 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 boom. Even the security, anyone can get it. Look. You see how his eyes were ready? Look. You see how he's also an athlete. So you see he has money, but his eyes, you see how he was sharp. Boom. He looked, even the security got it. Boom, got up, got in defensive mode, right? Just like a lion. Antonio Brown, he got up. The guy tumbled him. He tumbled over. Boom, got up, reflexes, got up, kicked him. Boom, came up. Boom, ready for war. Ready to get it on. That's how you know AB's a G, bro. I might have to do a reaction video, AB and Charleston White. We need to get AB, Charleston White in the room. Look at him. Look at his eyes.
Oh shit! Wait! What the fuck? That's security, AB! Shit!
Bro, you could see like his eyes saw red. Bro, you can see like his... That's the thing about life. No matter how far you go or what you do, you'll always be challenged. Things will always... Look, someone's come and tried to jump him for his chain.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh shit! Wait!
Got up, boom, kick. Look at that.
Oh shit! Wait! What the fuck? That's security, AB! Shit!
He's like, I don't trust security, bro. Who's security? Who? There's no one that can protect me. Look, I'm getting in this situation. What am I? When I'm in that situation, saying security? No.
Oh shit! Wait! What the fuck? That's security, AB! Shit! Oh, what the fuck, twin? Oh shit! Oh shit!
See, guys?
Your body language, when I say once you learn how to fight, learning how to fight takes years. Once you start to begin to learn how to fight, it's a lifestyle choice. This is not I do a 6-week course and I know how to fight. No, this is a lifestyle choice where you start to dedicate a certain period of your time every single week to being a combative individual. And it's something that you never really give up on because you never completely learn how to fight. So it's something you're gonna have to change your lifestyle and base it around. But when you start to do that, your body language is gonna change. And once again, just like in the first lesson, when you start to do that, the way you interact and view the world will start to change. The way you view other people will start to change. This is a great thing about, especially when I had Twitter and the internet. I wasn't big on Twitter until Trump was elected, and that's when I started to tweet, and they verified me straight away, and I got mixed up, and everything went crazy. But
Wait, is that how he blew up?
And I got mixed up, and everything. Trump was, especially when I had Twitter and the internet. I wasn't big on Twitter until Trump was elected, and that's when I started to tweet, and they verified me straight away, and I got mixed up, and everything went crazy. But you realize that 99% of the people on there with their opinions and who are being rude would never speak to you that way in real life. It never bothered me. It didn't ever upset me. But when I was on Twitter, I'd never been spoken to that way in real life. Nobody ever spoke to me that way. No one ever argued with me that way. And I thought, well, why is that? And I thought, because I have a physical presence that even I was unaware of. If I sit with someone who hates Trump in the real world, the way they speak to me is completely different than they do on Twitter, because even subconsciously they're thinking, this guy is a dangerous guy. And even if they know I'd never attack them, because I'm not an idiot, I'm not an animal, I don't have a criminal record, I'm not a thug. But instinctually, inside of their mind, from an evolutionary standpoint, they're thinking, this is not the kind of guy you call names. This is not the kind of guy you talk.
Oh my days, it's actually so true. Oh my. It's actually so true.
Talk to in that manner. And it was a really great experiment for me to see the way that people talk to you through a computer and the way that I've never been interacted with that way in real life. And I was like, well, why is that? Because I said this to someone else. They go, oh, people talk to me like that all the time. I was like, well, yeah, it's because you're you and I'm me. So a physical presence is a real thing. And it's a real thing, one, with other males, and it's certainly a real thing with females. Absolutely a real thing with females. And this is something that either I can teach you to imitate, I can tell you tips and tricks, or you can just go and fucking do it. If you go and do it for real, you don't need tips and tricks. Are you going to be world champion? No, because I'm in the top 0.1% of physical athletes. But can you be good? Sure, you can be good. And is it going to damage your life in any way to dedicate specific time learning how to fight? Of course not. You're going to be in better physical condition, better mental condition. You're going to have a better body language, because a male's body language is a combative body language. That's what men are meant to do. We are meant to fight. We're meant to conquer. This is why men have been men since the dawn of human time. This is why the Romans got some rocks, melted the rocks, made swords. These motherfuckers, they didn't have Google Maps. They didn't know where they were going. They thought, let's just walk in this direction, and then we're going to find some people, and we're going to kill them. We're going to take all their women, and we're going to conquer their city, because we want to.
Imagine.
This is what men have been built to do since the dawn of human time. Men are combative individuals. So to pretend that combat's not real anymore, and we live in society, and you don't have to do that, all garbage, you know? And this is Western society bullshit anyway. I've been to 71 countries. If you go to the places I've been, you will realize that physical presence is still a very real thing. Absolutely a very real thing in many parts of this planet still today. So, body language of a G is a very, very short and simple lesson. One, go and learn to fight, because a man's body language needs to be a combative body language, and there's no point in me teaching you how to imitate that when you can go and learn it for real. That's the first thing. Go and learn how to fight. And that's it. It's really that simple. If you want a body language which really does display your value as a high-value male, then go and become one. And learning how to fight is the easiest way to do that.
All right, so I'm going to talk about how to use your voice to make the pussy
What the
moist. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the reality is most men nowadays walk around very timidly, they're very soft with their voice, and they don't command the room, right? They don't command someone's attention. So here's an example. Let's say you're going to Starbucks and you're going to get you a cappuccino, right? Maybe you drink soy lattes, whatever. But when you order, a lot of people are timid, like, oh, I'll have the number 3, right? And then if someone doesn't hear them, they just kind of sit back and let it be, instead of commanding the person who's working attention, right? So if I were to walk up and order a soy latte, I would walk up, like, excuse me, I'll take a number 3, right? You're commanding their attention. You're commanding what you want. So the thing is, you want to command attention, right? If a king walks in a room, do you think he's timid? So you have to think, this whole course, the whole point is you have to start considering yourself a king, right? You're a king of your domain. You're a king of your state. You're a king of your country. You're a king of the world, right? Sell it online. I could be traveling and doing.
How to get rich. I know that's why you bought this course. You're sitting here thinking, I want to be rich. How do I do it? I'm going to tell you exactly how you get rich. But you may not like what I'm going to say to you, but it's the fucking truth. There is no easy way to get rich. And I'll tell you why. The nature of money, this is once again something else I understood at a very young age. The difference between you and me is very little, except I had a head start on you. Well, you were 18 acting like a dumbass. I was 18 getting shit done. So I've had a head start. So
You see what he's saying? When you were 18, you were just doing dumb shit. So going to parties, smoking weed, doing what people do, going away, going to this thing in Australia. They have a thing called schoolies. Going to schoolies. I never knew what schoolies was. I never knew what that shit was. People used to say schoolies. What the hell? I'll be like, what's schoolies? Oh, it's where we just go and party for like a weekend just to celebrate that we finished school. I'll be like, what? I'll be like, no, I'm cool. Like, no, what? Like, go and party to do what? To party and where? Where? How? Anyway, um, if you just apply yourself, he said at 18 he had a head start than you. 18 he became a millionaire at 28. So it took him 10 years to become a millionaire. That's because he was focused. Now some people realize and start focus maybe at 25, maybe at 26. So then 26, yes, maybe by 36, 38 you become that person you're meant to be. And some people give up. I'm not saying it has to take 10 years, but it takes a due process to become what they have to be. Maybe it could take you 3 years and then boom, all of a sudden your life changes. But 3 years of daily work, doing the same thing every single day, that's not even easy itself. 3 years, okay, talk about 3 years, talk about 5 years when you do get money, when things are good. That's not easy.
from 18 to 28, I amassed my millions.
What the
So I've
hell?
had a head start. So from 18 to 28, I amassed my millions. But it's not too late for anybody. Listen, the nature of how to get rich is because the nature is very difficult because of the nature of money. Money is not something you can earn or make. People talk about making money, earning money. Money is something you must convince out of the hands of somebody else. Money belongs to someone else. You have to convince them to give it to you. That's why making money is difficult. Because if money is something you could make, it wouldn't be difficult. If money is something you could earn, it still wouldn't be that difficult. You really have to convince other people to give you the money. And that's the hard part.
You have to convince other people to give you the money. So, like I said earlier, what about if you get 3,000 people to give you $3,000? That's $9,000 a month, US dollars. Here in Australia, that's, let's say if I have $12,000 a month I'm earning, that's pretty good. I'm just, that's pretty good. I'm chilling. I'm billing and chilling.
When you understand that reality, then you have to sit there and decide, okay, I have to convince this person to give me money. How do I get as much money from that person as possible? That's what you need to focus on. How do you make yourself so high value that they'll pay enough for your service, regardless of what your service is, or who you are as a person? Because there's a beautiful woman out there who gives, okay, there's a service, she gives a blowjob. But even then, there's beautiful women out there who give nothing and still get given money by guys because they're high value, because they have something, they have beauty, they have something the man wants. You have to discover, what is it that I have that other people are going to want? That's the first thing. And secondly, how can I get them to give me a lot of money for it? That's the basis of it. So let's go into it in more detail. How to get rich is as follows. You need to understand. In fact, you need to get pen and fucking paper. You need to write this down. I'm going to struggle to get rich. You are absolutely going to struggle. It's going to be very, very difficult. I did on my podcast with CNQ, I told a story about when I was really at my brokest and how I ate the same meal every day for about 9 months. And I called it flavor because it had no flavor. And it was basically rice. I used to buy a 10 kilo or 20
Guys, he said 9 months. 9 months.
A bag of rice for like $20. It was rice, it was kidney beans, because I read the back of the cans and they had the most protein for that. Because you get cans of kidney beans for like 9p, like 10 American cents back then. It's 10 cents. They had more protein than meat. I divided it all up for the value, for the money spent. I got the most possible protein from kidney beans than I did even meat. Because I'm anti-vegetarian, I don't like the idea of vegetarianism. I think it's a disconnect from reality. Humans have always eaten meat, we always will. To start pretending that's bad or wrong is something a bit wrong up here. So I'm an anti-vegetarian. I bought the cheapest possible meat because I refused to eat a meal without meat in it. But really my protein was coming from kidney beans. So I had rice, kidney beans, the cheapest possible frozen meat, and then just for greens, the cheapest thing I could buy was frozen peas. And I ate that every single day, 3 meals a day for 9 months, because it allowed me to feed myself for a month on about $90 or $100 for a month. me and my brother, 2 full-grown men in combat training, eating 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day. We just ate piles of this flavor. It had no flavor. I said this on the CMQ podcast. And this is when, back then, the reason I had so little money is because I was spending all of my money trying different businesses. Because you are going to struggle to get rich and you are going to fail over and over and over again. All of these people say it. Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, they all say the same thing. You have to be ready for failure, blah, blah, blah. People go, yeah, I get it. No, you don't get it. You have to be ready to fuck up because you're going to fuck up. Because there's no magical formula. If you try your first ever business and you make money with your first ever business, you're probably going to fuck that up anyway because you don't have any experience with losing money. You need to fail to succeed. And I know it's fucking cringe. I hate to say the same shit everyone else says, but it's absolutely true. What I'm going to do in this part of the video is I'm going to put in a clip of something I recorded in my Hateful Tate series telling you a story of one of my failed business attempts. So you can listen to that as well, and you can enjoy listening to me fuck up, because I fucked up plenty of times before I discovered a few things that started to work.
So whenever I'm in Slovakia or Hungary, I drink these, because the first time I came to Slovakia, I had one at a petrol station, and they're like a drink with chunks of aloe vera in it. And this must have been about 9-10 years ago. And now I've seen these a few times in corner shops and stuff, but back then, nowhere in England had drinks with aloe vera in it. So I was only like 21, 22, and obviously I was broke as a joke, and I wanted to get rich. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to import these drinks. And I'm going to sell them in England, and I'm going to sole supplier, and I'm going to get rich.
Yo, but one thing, I just want to say one thing. You see how he's always documenting his life? Even back then, you see the camera quality is quite low, but they're still documenting it. And he had quite a lot of money back here, and he even still has footage from when he was broke, when he was doing fighting and wasn't getting that money. I've seen the footage. So through all this, he's documenting things. This is the way to get money. Document social media.
So I found a contact in Hungary who could provide them to me for like, I don't know how much they were, 38p or something. I wanted to sell them for about £1. So then I started contacting all the superstores. I was watching Dragon's Den about getting distribution. I thought, this is hard. So I emailed Morrison's, emailed Waitrose, started emailing them every day saying I had some revolutionary new health drink that was guaranteed with all these bullshit results, and I promised them 100% markup on it. So I told them they'd buy it for 50p, so I'd make 12p per bottle, and they'd sell it for £1, 100% markup. Made it act like I was a real company. I'm 22. Right away, all these people. Eventually, I get an email back from Tesco saying, because everyone ignores you, because everyone's trying to get their stuff into superstores, so they completely ignore you. Got an email back from Tesco saying, I'm away from my, as you know, I've now left the business, and my replacement is Mr. Chris something is coming in to replace me. So I waited a couple days, and I emailed Chris and said, hi, Chris, we need to speak urgently. Your predecessor and I were one step away from achieving distribution, pretending I'd spoken to the previous guy who left, who never responded to me ever. So then Chris emails me like, oh, okay, you better come down there. So it was in Cheshunt, Hertfordshire, the Tesco head office. And I thought a normal job back then, so I arranged a meeting at like 5:30, finished work an hour early, walk into Tesco fucking head office in my Matalan suit with 4 or 5 bottles of this shit, which I brought in a backpack. Sat down there, let him test it all, gave him my pitch about health benefits, 100% bonus, and all this bollocks. He gave me a piece of paper saying how Tesco accept distribution, saying like, it needs to come X amount of bottles per crate, X amount of crates per container, like just all this expensive distribution shit. So anyway, he said he'd get back to me, so I fucking leave there excited as fuck, call up my guy in Hungary, says I need it in this many bottles per crate, this many crates per container, I need to be able to deliver this many containers per fucking week to Tesco stores, London, all this bollocks, da 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 da. My man in Hungary goes, okay, I can make this happen, da, 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 it's gonna cost this much, blah, blah. So I'm waiting, Chris emails me and says, we need to talk about your drink, are you free to come in again? I was like, yeah, of course. Anyway, in the meantime, the guy from Hungary says, it's gonna take me 6 months to turn around preparing your distribution. I said, oh no, it can't be 6 months. No, Tesco want it now, Tesco want it now. He goes, well, I need some money to begin doing this. It's gonna cost some money, so you need to pay me some money. You want like $2 grand. And I had no money. I had my month's wages, about 1,600 quid, came the next day. So I remember borrowing 500 pounds and my month's wages and sending it to Hungary, 2 grand. The day before my big meeting with Tesco, so this guy could begin fucking pissing around with crates. Taking my last 100 pounds to last me the month. Now I'm 500 quid in debt as well. Filling up with petrol, putting on my Matalan suit, walking in there, sitting down with this Chris guy who was fat as fuck. I don't know what. Of course he was in charge of choosing the food. Fat cunt. And he's literally, the meeting lasted 30 seconds. He said, "I'm sorry that my predecessor gave you the impression we were going to stock your product. Personally, I find it repulsive." And that was it. That was the end of my aloe vera dream. He never emailed me back again. None of the other superstores ever emailed me. I kept emailing, "We've got different flavors." Wasn't interested.
Still
Completely
emailed them.
blanked me. Everyone blanked me. The Hungarian guy took 2 grand of my money, and I was more poor than ever. So now when I drive through the continent in my Lambo, I enjoy an aloe vera drink. Personally, I find it repulsive. I remember sitting there thinking in my head, that was unnecessarily rude. He was unnecessarily rude to me because he thought he was important. I'm the fat dude who chooses Tesco's food. Cunt. But he ain't got a fucking Lambo. I might scroll through my email and fucking find it somewhere in the depths. Send him a picture of me outside my Lambo drinking an aloe vera drink. Surrounded by aloe vera drink, a big booty hoe.
Absolutely, you're going to struggle to make money. So the first thing is this. When we talk about
Guys, I remember
mindset-
one story when I first started this business. I met this guy, and then I was pretty good the way I got, like, he sent an email, and then I emailed him, and I said, I just said, this was really nice. It was really nice to hear that. Called him. He's like, "Oh, thank you very much." Called him. Boom, boom. He's like, "Come to my office." Came into his office. I sat down with him. He was a big guy. And then I was like, "Look, this is my business. We could do a podcast. I can interview you. This is what it is. Social media. Like, da-da-da." I gave him a proposal, and he looked. He was like, "Oh, yeah." And then he took me around the other offices. He's like, "Oh, we can do the podcast here. We could do the podcast here." But he didn't really mean it. And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." I was like, "This is a good place." But I was even looking at him. But anyway, and he never called me back or contacted me back ever again. But you see how Andrew Tate still contacted them back. He was still persistent. And sometimes business is about being persistent, but it's also about knowing who you are. But still, you have to fail, bro. You've got to fail. You've got to... the months where you're going in your business, and the money, you're working all day, all night, but when you look in the bank, you see $0. You just see minus, 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 minus. Decline, 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 decline. Loan, decline, 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 decline. Bills, 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 bills. This. Everyone needs money. This needs money. It's like it's suffocating you, bro, if you're not careful. So this is quite important that you have to learn you're going to go through difficult times.
Talk about being pissed off you don't have money. Talking about believing you can do it. All those things are essentially important. The reason we did the first video, in fact, if you watch this entire series once, that's fine. But you need to watch the first video at least 20 times because it's the mindset that's going to allow you to get anywhere else. So imagine you're starting from zero. You've now adopted my mindset. You've now started to learn how to fight, to get your body language right. Even those 2 small things makes you a higher value person. Let me tell you something. You can go into a job and they're offering $20,000 a year. Keep the numbers simple. If you've implemented the lessons I've given you in the first and second video correctly, and you sit there and say, "Listen, I'm the best employee you are ever going to have." In fact, this is a fucking true story. I'm saying it like I'm giving you an example. This is a true story. When I was working sales jobs, I used to walk in there as arrogant as a motherfucker. Because if you run a company and you're going to hire someone to make you money, to work for you and sell your product, you don't want some fucking guys like, "Well, I'll try my best." No, I was as arrogant as a motherfucker. I'd walk into a sales job. I'd sit down and say, "Okay, before we continue, we need to talk about pay because I'm worth more than the money you're offering. I'm going to explain to you why. But basically, I'm the best employee you will ever have. I'm guaranteeing you I will smash any sales record set by anyone else in that room. I will smash it. In fact, I will smash it to a point where I don't even want a basic wage. I want to be commission only. I want 3 times the commission that you're paying because I don't take a basic. And I'm going to make more money than anyone else has ever made. You're going to pay me exorbitant sums of money." I'd sit there and say that to the MD, and the managing director would sit there and go, "Who the fuck is this cocky son of a bitch?" But then he's sitting there thinking, "Well, if he's so sure he's going to make so much money, he's going to make me a lot of money." So they sit there and they test you. They say, well, why are you so sure of yourself? I say, "Because I'm the best. I'm the best salesman there's ever been. It doesn't matter what it is. I can sell ice to an Eskimo. I'm the best salesman there's ever been, and I'm going to sell more product than anyone else has ever possibly sold. And so if you hire me, you need to be prepared to pay me huge sums of money. You need to speak to payroll and make sure they're prepared to spend 20 or 30,000 a month in wages. It has to come to me, and I want it on time. I don't want.
Guys, let me tell you a story. So I went into a meeting one time with a finance company, and I went into this meeting and I pitched to them, talked. I was just real confident, you know, real player type. Like, just came in looking good, spoke. You know, he basically said, sell me. What do you do? And then I said to him, what problem do you have? I asked him. He said, what do you do? He said, how can you help us? I said, what problem do you have? Just ask the question. Led it to him. When I said, what problem do you have? It made him think. They talked about the problems I have. Because I'm so good about what I do and I spend so much time doing this stuff, I told them what they need to do to be successful. And if they have something coming up, this is what they got to do. I was sitting there in the confidence. And then the last thing, one of the things he said to me was, why should we go to you? We can go to other people. Why you or something? And then I said to him, because I'm the best. I said that. I was like, because I'm the best at what I do, at what we do. And then he laughed. He was like, like he just laughed. But straight face. And I didn't say anything. You got to have that.
I want a basic. I want my commission. I want it once a month. I want you to make sure you have the facility to pay me 20 or 30,000 in one transfer at a time. So you check that before you consider about hiring me. I'd sit there and I'd say this shit. I never failed a job interview. Never. I never failed a job interview. How do you get rich? I got the best jobs. I walked into jobs where you needed a university degree. I didn't have a university degree. I say, why didn't you have a university degree? Oh, I didn't even ask me that. I sit there and go, before we start, I don't have a degree. I know you see you need a degree for this post, but instead of spending 4 years in college, I spent those 4 years learning how to sell, so I don't have a degree. And they'd sit there and go, oh, okay, this motherfucker, he knows this shit. I didn't need a degree. I didn't need fucking college. I didn't need university. And they'd sit there and post, but instead of spending 4
Did you
years
guys
in
hear
college,
that?
I spent those 4 years learning how to sell. I don't have a degree. I know you see you need a degree for this post, but instead of spending 4 years in college, I spent those 4 years learning how to sell, so I don't have a degree. And they'd sit there and go, oh, okay, this motherfucker, he knows this shit. I didn't need a degree. I didn't need fucking college. I didn't need university. I didn't need nothing. Because I had the lessons I taught you in number one, the first video, and lessons I taught you in number two. I had the body language of a fucking winner. I had the mindset of a fucking winner. And they wanted a fucking winner on the team. How do you get rich? Well, it doesn't matter if you're going to end up eventually getting your own company. But I didn't get my own company until I was 25. For a long time, I worked normal jobs. But I worked sales jobs. Because sales jobs allow you to make unlimited money. So I worked sales initially. But it doesn't matter if it's your own company. It doesn't matter if it's working for someone else. It's down to your body language. It's down to your mindset. Absolutely, that's how you get rich. Yeah, you're going to fuck up sometimes. So, some of the jobs, I'd talk all this shit. I'd get the job, and I couldn't sell as much as the other guys. I started off, because I didn't know the product. I'm Mr. fucking Big Bollocks, and then I couldn't sell as much as the other guys. And they take me in and they say, okay, yeah, you sold some product, but you didn't quite hit target this month. And then the MD, part of them was kind of like, haha, motherfucker, you're not as smart as you thought. But I just sit there and say, yeah, it's my first month. I'm still learning, but my promises have not changed. I'm a man of my word, and I absolutely guarantee you I'm going to smash this sales target. And I just stick there and stick to my fucking word, and I'd repeat the same shit over and over again. You know what? Those managing directors of those companies are probably sitting there going, this motherfucker's delusional. He's a little bit delusional, but he keeps trying. He makes the phone calls. He's trying his best. People would rather have someone who's too confident with delusion than someone who's living firmly in the real world. Oh, well, this is going to be hard because I don't know the product yet, but I'm hoping once I learn the product, my sales will go up. No managing director wants to hear that shit. Fuck that garbage. I'm going to fucking beat the record. I'm going to be the best there's ever been. You just got to give me a little bit more time to learn. I'm the badass. I'm the best person here. What's funny now is that I probably have more money than any of them MDs ever had because I fucking meant what I said. I said that shit. I fucking meant it. I don't give a fuck. I meant it. This is not an act. I'm telling you how to do this, and you're sitting thinking, okay, I have to act this way. It's not a fucking act. You have to believe it. Believe that shit. How do you get rich for real? Believe that you can do anything it takes to get paid. My business card. Like I said, we're doing this entire series without any cuts or any takes, so I'm gonna get my business card. Stay right here. I want to show you something.
They said we're gonna do the course without editing anything.
Thinks it's some kind of fucking joke. My business card is not a fucking joke. My business card is real. So you look at my business card. It says Andrew Tate, millionaire and all-around nice guy. And on the back it says, I'll tell you a very quick story. On the back it says, this is a quote.
For wars fought, bodily exposure, assassins plotted, Revolution started, uprising stud service, millionaire lifestyle, tigers tamed, keeping the faith, dragon slaying, orgies organized, whiskey merchant, helicopter hire, free international travel, ventriloquist, sexual athlete. I specialize in the following: world records broken, Bitcoin mining, jet charter, yacht parties.
I'll tell you a very quick story. On the back, it says, this is a quote of my dad's. My unmatched perspicacity coupled with sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. That's a quote of my father's that he pulled out. In fact, because we got time, because you're sitting here learning how to be a G, let me tell you a story about a real fucking G. So I was in Detroit, Michigan, 3 in the morning in a gas station with my dad when these Mexicans ran in to rob the store. They didn't have guns, which is extremely surprising for America. They had bats and knives. They start smashing the store up, whatever. They get a little bit of money from the till, whatever. I'm standing in the store. I'm standing there with my dad. They leave. My dad says, "Stay here, son," and walks out. So I guess he was checking if they were still outside. My father was an interesting character. I don't know what. Maybe he was going to fight. I don't really know what his genuine intention was. I was too young to understand it. But I heard them attack him, so they were obviously still outside. He got attacked. Anyway, the police turn up 7 or 8 minutes later. My dad is badly damaged. He'd been hit with the bat, and they cut his face, and he's bleeding everywhere. But he didn't go down. He didn't get knocked out. In the end, in fact, they ran away because he had one of them has a permanent, because they caught him. In fact, I'm going to try and find a picture for this video because my dad had a picture of it. Had a permanent scar because my dad took a chunk out of his cheek with his teeth. Fucking ruthless shit. Anyway, the police officer turns up and goes, asked my dad what happened. My dad said, I went out there to check it was okay for my son to leave, and they attacked me, and I fucking bit this guy's face off, and I fucked this guy up, and then they all ran off, and yeah, I've been cut, and they hit me with the bat, and da-da-da-da. And the police officer goes, "What's your job?" To my dad. My dad was a big guy. The police officer's a bit like, "What's your job?" My dad said, "I'm a chess player." The police officer said, "Well, maybe you should have been something else, as in you should have been a cop, or you should have been a bodyguard or something." And my dad replied, this quote, my dad said, "My unmatched perspicacity coupled with sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor." That's how my father spoke. That's just how he spoke through life. So he was a fucking crazy guy to be around. But that quote, what he's saying is, my unmatched perspicacity, my ability to perceive things, coupled with sheer indefatigability, my ability to not become fatigued, I don't become tired, makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. So that was my dad's way of saying, I things to be around. But that quote, what he's saying is, my unmatched perspicacity, my ability to perceive things.
Wait, I gotta write that down. My unmatched okay, I'll spell that shit again. Gotta put that in Notion. My unmatched,
Coupled with sheer indefatigability.
Coupled with sheer indefatiged.
My ability to not become, my ability to perceive things. Coupled with sheer indefatigability.
Indefatigability.
Ability to not become.
To not become
fatigued. I don't become tired. Makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. To not become fatigued. I don't become tired. Makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. So that was my dad's way of saying to the police officer, "Fuck you. You think chess is bullshit? I can do chess and I can whoop these guys' ass." That was my perceive things. Coupled with shit, what he's saying is, sheer indefatigability. This quote, my dad said, "My unmatched perspicacity coupled with sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor." That's how my father spoke. That's just how he spoke through life. So he was a fucking crazy guy to be in human endeavor. That's how my father coupled with sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. That's how my father spoke. That's just how he spoke through life. So he was a fucking crazy guy to be around. But that quote, what he's saying is, my unmatched perspicacity, my ability to perceive things, coupled with sheer indefatigability, my ability to not become fatigued. I don't become tired. It makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. So that was my dad's way of saying to the police officer, fuck you. You think chess is bullshit? I can do chess and I can whoop these guys' ass. I can do anything. That's how my father spoke. So that's a very quick story. But back to my business card. Put that on there in homage to the big G. But in the back it says, I specialize in the following. And you'll see a whole
Like, who
list.
puts that on their, like, who puts that on their business card, bro? My unmatched personality coupled with sheer indefatigability, not to be tired. My unmatched way to always think between the lines. I always think between the lines. I always connect the dots. I'm always thinking. I'm always thinking about that next business move. I'm always thinking about what I say and how I speak and what I talk about. Do I just talk about nonsense and gossip, or do I do things that are gonna make me money, that I can add value to someone else's life? How can I convince someone to give me $3,000 a month? And how can I convince 3 people to give me that amount right now? How can you convince someone so you can live that life? How can you convince someone to give you $3,000 per month? Right? So it's that.
Of tasks. A whole bunch of stuff on there that I specialize in. You can read it. Pause the video if you want. You can read each one. So, wars fought. Modeling exposure. Assassinations plotted. Revolutions started. The list goes on and on. Tigers tamed. Helicopter hire. When people read this, they go, Andrew, you're full of shit. I'm not full of shit. I'm a fucking G. The point is, if you're gonna pay me enough money, I'll get it done. That's always been my mindset. What's the key to becoming rich? Well, first, if you're ready to pay me, there's nothing I will not do. Sits here saying revolution started, people sit there and laugh. If someone's gonna transfer me $1 billion American dollars, I guarantee I'll start a fucking revolution. I guarantee it. If you're ready to pay me my fee,
Yo, someone just said, I honestly think anyone who listens to this has to be retarded. Look, no one's forcing you to listen to it. If you want to be controlled by the Matrix, be controlled by the Matrix. But, like, listen to what he's saying. You think you're going to be Andrew Tate. No, I'm going to be Sujira Rabasha. I'm not going to be Andrew Tate. I'm me. I'm me. Do you know who I'm me, bro. I'm not Andrew Tate. I'm me. But there's lessons from... No, he's not in jail. There's lessons from his story that I take that, hey, I do believe in myself. I believe I'll make it. I am him. And it's his confidence that pisses people off, that makes people jealous. But the people who are speaking bad about him, you're there, still there, struggling, here, struggling, and he's living the life you dream of. Yeah, facts. You don't need another man to tell you this, but a lot of people do need another man to tell them this. A lot of people don't listen to this stuff. A lot of people are ignorant. A lot of people are in the matrix and so controlled by whatever they're told by the media. The media tells you this, they tell you COVID's real, you put a mask and you behave like a good little boy. So you need people like him to be the bad guy. You need people like him to be the bad guy.
Too much for you, or maybe you think I overprice myself, whatever. But if you're ready to pay me the fee I say I want, and you're gonna pay it to me, I'll get it done. Pay me first, I'll get it done. If you want a rocket on Mars, no problem. Pay me. I'll set a price, 3.5 billion American. You give me 3.5 billion American dollars, I will get a rocket on the moon, one way or a fucking another.
I will get the job done. Exactly. I said to you guys, imagine if you can get $3,000 a month. Take $3,000 a month, that's $9,000 a year, that's $100,000 a year. You don't need to be a millionaire. Earn $100,000 a year by getting people. And that's the thing. I love that sense. The same way, even for my business, I say this is the price. If that's not the price, let me tell you a little story. It's a story on pricing, but it's also a story on how you can believe in yourself. You have a customer who comes to your shop. Customer comes to your shop, and then he says, how much is this? And then you have 2 options to give him. You tell him the price, and then you be quiet. Tell him the price, be quiet. He has 2 options. He either says, yes, I'll take it and I'll pay you that money. Or he says, no, you know what? It's too cheap. I don't want to take it at that price. But guess who wins? The shopkeeper wins, because if he doesn't take it at that price, well, you're not a good customer for me, and customers are going to come and pay me what I say they're going to pay me. So get the hell out of here, right? So it's basically saying whoever talks first wins. So when you give someone your price, don't say anything. The one who says something, The one who doesn't say anything wins, or the one who talks first wins. Um, uh, yeah, I'm just talking about some money and stuff like that. Don't worry about it. Yeah, powerful stuff, guys. This is powerful.
I don't care if I have to hire someone else to do it. I don't care if I have to fucking learn how to do it myself. I don't give a fuck if I have to become fucking contact some aliens with my fucking iPhone, WhatsApp them, say, look, I need help moving something to Mars. I don't care what it takes. If you're gonna pay me, I'm gonna fucking do it. Because if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. And that's the point of my card. There's nothing I cannot do for a fee. That's the kind of person you need to be. What's the key to being rich? People need to know you as a fixer. They gotta think, you know what? This is the guy who can get shit done. Back in my sales career, and I quit sales when I became...
So someone commented and said, "You can have all the money in the world that you want, but it won't get you into heaven, brother." And that's what I just said earlier in this Twitch. I said something in this Twitch. I said, people say, "Oh, God's coming to save me. God's coming to save you." And the white man goes, "Yes, don't worry. Just go to God in heaven. Just be poor on earth. Don't worry. It's not that good to be rich. Don't worry. Just be poor, die, and then when you die, you'll go to heaven. That's when you'll get a good life." But he knows there's no heaven up there, because why would a white man send you to go to heaven? Why would he make you think that there's a good life up there when he puts your life here on earth terrible? There's no such thing as someone outside of you. No one.
I'm actually a four-time world champion. I was working up until the point I was world champion, because there isn't actually as much money in fighting as people think. When I became one-time world champion, I retired, but I was working in sales up to the age of 25. When you become good at sales and you get a reputation as a good salesman, you can never be unemployed. And it's amazing how that reputation spreads. I had job offers weekly. Weekly, I'd have people I previously worked with who've become manager and want to get their figures up call me trying to get me back. People who I previously worked with who'd moved to new companies and were putting a team together and wanted good salesmen on their team would call me. I was getting calls constantly. "Tate, come move for this one, we can sell this. Tate, come sell that. Tate, come sell this." Because I was the guy, I was the go-to guy to sell product. We have to sell product. We have to get our figures up. Who do you know who can get it done? Well, this Tate guy, I worked with him before. He's fucking crazy. He sells shit. That's who I was. And when I say what's the key to getting rich, so back then, I was taking home, I don't know, 10,000 a month or something.
Hey guys, so like I said, this is you guys are listening to a course that people paid for. Like, people paid money for this course. So this course is about 3 hours. I'm assuming this is when he had money. Maybe the course was about $50 for people to pay. And it's not like it's like drawing or words or presentations. It's just him talking. But think about it. To get 50 people, 100 people, 200 people to pay you $50 for this, doesn't that make you think? Doesn't that put something in your mind like, what is he doing that I'm not? He's not doing anything special. He's just telling you stories about his life. He's got money. So if you have money, like, if you're broke and you're saying all this shit, people are not going to listen to you, right? People are not going to listen to you. If you're doing things that, yes, there's two parts. You could be documenting the journey, like documenting, and people are like, all right, cool. You'll have people who mess with you. But when you're at his level, it makes you believe it more because he has it. You can see him. But yeah, think. He sold this course to 50, 100 people. So do the maths on your calculator. I know you guys are typing, but wait, let's ask ChatGPT. All right, ChatGPT. How much does Andrew Tate earn a year according to you? Let's see what ChatGPT says. $70 million to 100 million. 40 million per year from memberships and courses. 40 million per year. I'm sure he's Hustlers University. Okay, so for Hustlers University, what are they, like 40 million a year? So how many people are paying monthly sponsorships? Like, how much does that equate to? Bro, why do people always say pause when you say stuff? God damn, you always gotta be like. People are weird, bro. Anyway. Bro, you didn't break down what I said, ChatGPT. I said say it, nigga. Hey, ChatGPT, how many people, 40 million a year, what are the subscription fees that people are that equate to that much money? 40 million a year. And you know he's making way more than that, bro. The subscription fee minimum is $49 a month. $49 times to earn 40 million a year, we divide 40 million times 588. He's got 68,000 people, 68,000 people paying 40, and there's people who pay more than 49. There's other levels. There's a second tier. So that 40 million probably go to 800 million. And then his retention, so like retention means the amount of people that stay in your course is quite high because he's always branding, he's always marketing himself, he's always out there, that he's always in people's faces. And when you're always in people's faces, people will pay you forever. People will keep paying you. And that's not easy to do. But if you figure out how to do that, you're not going to be in the comments. You're going to be living life.
Like, to me now, that doesn't even cover my fucking car servicing and petrol. But to me then, that was good money. You know, in the real world, that's good. In car taking home, I don't know, it was. And when I say what's the key to getting rich, so back then, I mean, I was taking home, I don't know, 10,000 a month or something. Like, to me now, that doesn't even cover my fucking car servicing and petrol. But to me then, that was good money. You know, in the real world, that's good money. So what's the key to getting rich? Because to most people, to even you watching, 10,000 a month makes you rich. That's rich. To me now it's not, because everything's scalable. And your perspective changes. Now 10,000 a month would leave me very poor. But back then, it was a lot of money to me. So even then I consider myself rich. So what was the key to getting rich? The lessons I taught you in the first and second fucking video. The way I thought, the way I spoke, the way I carried myself, being a sayer, saying shit and making it fucking come true like magic. That's the key to fucking getting rich. Every single lesson you're gonna go through in this course is gonna fucking come back to the same things. Your fucking view of this world, the way you view the world. I view the world, and I genuinely believe I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. And everyone who calls me arrogant is not nearly as successful as me, so fuck them. I don't care. I'm the best. I am the best. And when I sat there, let me tell you something. When I did end up breaking those sales records, every other motherfucker in that company, there's a lot who couldn't stand me, but some of the other sales guys, they'd be like, you know what? I have to give you respect. You've come in here. You talk shit. You said you're going to be the best. You didn't even want a basic wage. And here you are. You just beat the record. I have to, hats off to you. You're crazy. I was like, yeah,
1 second, chat. Someone's in the comments. You know, I talked about this on a video, one of my latest videos, I think with DDG, about people in the comments. But you know, people who put negative stuff in the comments, it's like, they're not real, bro. It's like fake people, because you wouldn't say it to my face, or you wouldn't say it in real life, but you'll say it in the comments. You know what? I actually prefer the haters in the comments. I prefer someone who tells you, like, I hate you or you're stupid. I prefer you, because at least with you, I know where to put you. I know exactly where to categorize you. I know, okay, cool, yep, you have this attitude towards this, you'll comment negatively. Okay, cool. I know where to fit you, because, you know, then I know how to move. I know where to move. I know what to do. I know, you know, what not to do. Right? But it's the people who show you love, but they hate you. There's so many people, they'll say congratulations, they'll show you love, but they really hate you. And people hate you through love. People think that, oh, like hate is shown through hate. Again, yes, if hate is shown through hate, if someone just hates you, then again, you know how to deal with that person. Again, I would rather deal with that person, because I know where I can put them. But there's so many people out there in life that they're with you, they'll smile with you, they'll smile next to you, but they'll stab you in the back very, very quickly. And that's the hardest, because you don't know what to get. They at front, they seem nice and presentable, but they'll definitely snake you out.
fucking man. That's how you gotta be as a person. It's how you have to be as a person. So when people talk about being prepared to fail, I think a lot of that is because people get put off by failure. You know, failure is one of those things that's it's going to hit you and it's going to stop you wanting to come back and try again. That's what really being prepared to fail is all about. And that's why the fighting is so important as well, because when you go and start learning to fight, you're going to get your fucking ass kicked, and it's going to hurt, and you're going to feel like a dickhead. But you have to get used to just getting over that, you know, get over it and get up and carry on anyway. That's why that's such an important facet of the G mindset, along with everything else I've taught you, the first 4 lessons of the mindset. But those things together, I'm telling you, if you get those things right, everything I'm saying to you is going to start to make sense. The key to getting rich doesn't have to be owning your own business. I know that's very unpopular to say. Owning your own business is fantastic. But in a lot of cases, owning your own business is more work than a normal job. People think, I'm going to own my own business, and then I'll be free to do whatever I want. No, if you own your own business, you're not free to do shit because you own your own business. You have more fucking stress than if you have a normal job. When you have a normal job, you go home, it turns off. You get your own business, it never turns off. So it's not really that clear cut. And I'm not going to be the guy who sits there and says, if you ever have a job, you're never going to be rich. That's bullshit too. You can go get the right job and the correct job, and you can end up being a very rich individual. There's CEOs of Kellogg's. You think he doesn't own Kellogg's?
Bro, what did I tell you guys? I told you guys, some of you guys can work remote jobs. You can live anywhere in the world, and you're working a job. You're getting paid 90 to 100 to 200K a year, and you can live and work anywhere in the world. How much would that mean for you, bro? Imagine getting 200K a year, and that's what you call wealth. You're not a millionaire, but you're doing better than most people. That's 15, 20K a month, right? Imagine earning that type of money. 10, 11, 12, 15, right? And so what he's saying is so true. When you own a business, that shit is hard, man. God damn. It never turns. It's worse than a job.
Think he ain't rich? He's fucking rich. He's fine. What I'm saying to you right now is that to make yourself feel more rich, to make more money than you currently make, if you doubled your income right now, you'd be nowhere near my income. Nowhere near. But you'd feel rich because you've been living for a certain amount of time on a certain income. How do you double your income instantly? You double your income instantly by fucking implementing my mindset and going out there and either changing your job or going back into your boss and saying, you know what? I'm going to do a better job than I've ever done before. I'm about to do X, Y, and Z. I'm about to change this for the company. I'm going to do all this. I'm going to do that for a month, and you're going to see how valuable I am, and then I want this much money. And if your boss goes no, say, fine, I'll find someone who will say, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it all, and then we can talk again. If you're still not interested, I'm going to have to find other employment. Sit there. Revolutionize shit. Mix shit up. Do some fucking crazy shit, and you'll make more money. You want to feel rich? You can feel more rich right now. A number one piece of advice I give to everybody, they go, oh, what job, what industry? Sales. Find a fucking sales job, sit there, refuse the basic wage, demand double commission, tell them you're going to be the best there's ever been, and because you've implemented the lessons in the first video, when you say shit, it comes true. Be that guy who succeeds, then you'll feel fucking rich. It's all about mindset. It's all about how to become rich is a mindset. It's not about trying to get hold of money. It's about viewing the world in a way where you were such a high value individual that things float to you. People were desperate to employ me. I didn't have to ask for jobs. They were desperate to employ me. Even now, when I first started my company, I needed an investment from a guy. I went to him and I said, look, I want $200,000. When I go to someone and say, I need 200 grand, we're going to make some money, they want to give me the money. I don't have to convince them to give me the money. They want to give me the fucking money. It's like, okay, 200? Okay, yeah, let's do it. Because they knew who I was as a person. So the key to getting a job, the key to being paid more, the key to getting investments, the key to this, all the fucking same. It's a mindset and it's a personality. It's who you are as a person. If you implement that and fucking the G mindset, you get that shit right, you're gonna have anything you want. Then you want to start a business, you need an opportunity or an investment to do it, people are gonna fucking give it to you because you have a reputation as someone who does not fail.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're gonna love that one.